On the hotfix today, didn't make any changes to Conquest. I know Creative Assembly is currently taking in feedback and plans to make some changes to Conquest. At least I hope so. Think so. I believe that's the case. We'll have to wait and see. I was hoping there would be a little bit of something in the patch today just to bump the ticket limit up to 700. I think that's probably the #1 requested change. I think another big requested change is making it so that if you're contesting the cap point, it actually, stops the tickets from accruing. But nonetheless, today we've got this replay from Rider Rohan here. Some Elves versus Dark Elves even versus Nurgle. We got some Sisters of Slaughter charging some Pestigores out here in the woods. Looks like a bunch of Witch Elves and more Sisters of Slaughter. Very nicely themed build here. Hellebron leading the way also with a Death Hag. Sisters of Singing Doom. We got some Dark Riders and Sorceress of Beasts. Block of Doom being just so strong right now. On the opposite side, got Temerkan on foot and a Beast of Nurgle here to back him up. Beast of Nurgle, decent, immune to flanking. They're not incredible, but they're definitely something that exists. Got some Chaos Warriors and some Toads here, already taking some range damage. Rot Knights, and let's get to it. Say range damage. What, Flock of Doom Overcast? Probably long range damage. But, yeah, Nurglings here also with the Pestigores. Pestigores missing their charge is pretty bad. Obviously, they do rely on that quite a bit as part of their damage profile. 33 charge bonus with Primal Fury is substantial. But, yeah, let's see how that engagement goes. The Witch Elves charging on in. They're squishy enough. They're going to take very significant damage on the charge from Toads. But, of course, the Witch Elves all juiced up. They're going to get all kinds of attack buffs here. If the Witch Brew was popped before Gates of Cain, they could have stacked both of them, but even still, the one after the other is quite a lot. That being said, not really sure how much they're actually doing here. Let's keep the health bars up for these Nurgle units. The center pocket here on the side, the Witch Elves and Dark Riders definitely faring much poorer. And we do have a couple of rogue Pestigores out in the distance that were Vanguard deployed in the corner. Fortunately, they're going to have to make quite the journey to come back and help, but Rot Knights here kind of chewing on this flank a little bit. Pestigores didn't completely fold to the Sisters of Slaughter immediately. They did manage to hold out for some time there, so the, Tamerkan the Maggot Lord just kind of chilling here with his buddies in the center. Nice Nurgly blob fight. Should have some good AoE effects going on, I would imagine. We'll probably see some Overcast Fleshly Abundance to try and heal things back up here. But anyway, yeah, Witch Elves getting that nice murderous mastery. A full 120 seconds, 2 minutes of a massive power spike. Applies to both Witch Elves and Sisters of Slaughter. So during this time, Nurgle's going to be at significant danger. It also does apply to Hellebron herself, of course, as well. So if we take a look at her stats, of course, weapon strength is being debuffed, but 98 melee attack just kind of passively right now with, Frenzy, Murderous Mastery giving her an extra 18. Absolutely huge. But still, relatively squishy, less than 3,000 HP currently, so has to be careful not to get pummeled by Tamerkan too hard there. But let's see, the reserve Pestigores, rather, did land, and actually are going to start to swing some of these fights a little bit and keep things somewhat even. Beast of Nurgle still holding out on this far side here, tying down quite a lot of units, actually. That is a significant amount of resources that could come collapse and try and finish this fight off, but let's see. In the meantime, the Rot Knights continuing to kind of grind it out. Would like to see these guys maybe cycle charge a little bit more. Yeah, probably haven't got that great a value fighting in sustained combat. Sisters of Slaughter had great stats overall, especially with Murderous Mastery active, and yeah, I've got Trial of the Blades also. Anytime they start losing, that'll recharge, but basically in melee they get a little power spike buff. 60, 61 on attack and defense. Everything, some ranks coming into play there as well on that specific unit, but Nurgle definitely facing some troubles. And Tamerkan fighting with his warriors here, trying to hold out. The Blood Frenzy taking over. Screaming Elves as Hellebron frenzies them up here, although she herself getting pummeled again pretty hard. Hit by Tamerkan, just absolutely bruised. He's all charged up with his buffs, and I think he actually does straight fell Hellebron here. Yep, she's gone, so that'll stave off army losses for a moment, but Yeah, it is just Tamarkan left, and only for a moment. Eventually, the Beast of Nurgle does start to disintegrate. Tamarkan, of course, being unbreakable. Yeah, he's going to continue fighting for some time here. But, yeah, the Death Hag, I guess, will be enough to finish him off, certainly. There are enough Witch Elves and everything else, Sisters of Slaughter and whatnot. Tamarkan just absolutely drowning in it right now as he gets finished off. Fast forward through this endgame, I guess. Maybe not. I guess we got time. Why not just watch Tamarkan play some of his animations here? Just punts these Elves around. Color scheme looking absolutely fantastic as well. Very on point for Ryder Rohan here, as always. As an artist, he is you know, always on point with his color schemes, it must be said. But man, Tamarkan's actually holding out for quite some time here. Let's see what happens. I do fast forward. I mean, he gets a fecundity heal there to try and stave off army losses. Yes, there's a tiny possibility he can win, but no. Eventually the player just throwing in the towel, saving us from having to watch his blubber get sliced up anymore. But yeah, not bad for a foot Tamarkan. He's definitely solid value overall. I think just missing the charge on the Pesticores out on the flanks was honestly a pretty big downside for the Nurgle player here. So yeah, I mean, the Toad's decent enough in this matchup. Definitely no argument there. The Rod Knights also probably needed to cycle charge a little bit more. But yeah, just getting those Pesticores caught out. I believe Sisters of Slaughter actually have charge defense, but they weren't braced, so they definitely would have been subjected to that high charge. And given how squishy they are as a unit overall, I mean, obviously high melee defense, but that charge helps you get past it, so you can do a big burst of damage to kind of equalize that fight, or at least trade more cost effectively there. But yeah, as a result, Sisters of Slaughter, Witch Elves all get pretty nice value spread across the board. Of course, Hellebron's support value is spectacular in that way as well. Her and the Death Hag, actually. I didn't realize the Death Hag got KO'd by Tamarkan also so quickly there, but yeah, Sorceress manages to hang on for the win. And it's a pretty fun one overall, for sure. So, yeah, in the hotfix today, I think they did the only real multiplayer thing, I think, was fixing the Tzeentch Shrine. Maybe there was one other change I'm forgetting exactly, but anyway. Yeah, just kind of quickly finishing up with these here. Hellebron's definitely a fun pick. Not the best, but can be quite strong. Probably one of the more underrated support lords, to be honest. And Dark Elf enjoyers know of her, but it's been a while since her DLC, quite a few years actually, and so it's not something you might think about that much, but yeah, just incredible offensive stats overall. Pretty low HP and armor though, but does have this Gaze of Cain here, basically like an AoE Witch Brew, more or less, right? Yeah, with an extra leadership component even. So, like I said, if you can, with a line of Witch Elves, it's possible to actually stack these together, right? You pop the Witch Brew on all of them, and then a couple of them, whatever is in the area of effect, you layer this Gaze of Cain on top. That is 50% damage, right? Extra, like, almost 50 melee attack. Just absolutely massive power spike on demand. And of course, you also have Murderous Mastery on top of that you could potentially save those things for and stack, or, you know, try and layer them one after the other so you get more constant flow of power rather than such a big power spike. But quite a bit of options there, actually. I hadn't really thought to synergize those two things until this replay, but that seems ridiculous. Ridiculously strong, potentially, actually. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.